Officials say it started behind these houses here. The flames shot across the street and hit that house. Breaking news this morning, rescue operations are currently underway searching for 2 missing miners at the Dotiki mine in Nebo, Kentucky. The official announcement of Reverend William Francis Medley as the 4th bishop of the Owensboro Diocese is only minutes away. The biggest question many Americans have now is when will we take notice of the changes? Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius joins us now from our nation's capital to answer some of those questions. They say these signatures are proof Americans are upset. New pictures and troubling new details coming out concerning the weekend murder of 2 Vanderbilt County children. German Township fire personnel were able to take pictures of the house, are using systems just like this one to help catch perpetrators in the act. Some flooding secondary roads. The main roads are fine, but secondary roads, so just in case, call 511, especially in Kentucky this morning, to see if there's any road closures. 2 million golf balls go through this recycle process every year, turning golf balls like this into this. Crews were having difficulty getting the water to the fire. They even had to pump water out of the Ohio. Buxton was first on the scene this morning, and we'll go out live now to Jason Classville for an update. Within minutes, the vandals came and smashed every one of the windows. Over the course of 2 years, Jenny and Brian have changed 29,200 diapers. To put that in a different perspective, if you were to stack all those diapers one on top of the other, you'd have a stack 12 times the height of the old courthouse. Switching gears, the Democratic shuffles in the party right now.
Absolutely. A
lot of big changes. Now, when you heard about Bai and Ellsworth, what kind of went through your mind? Worse. Pastor Ronald Hogue may be resting now, but early Wednesday morning, it was a different story.
My wife woke me up. I got up, put my trousers on, looked outside, and it was just daylight nearly with a third house, with the first house on fire.
Ronald says after that moment, it was only 10 minutes before the house next door turned to rubble.
I thought he was going to go next. I really did. I thought he was going to go, and we just prayed to the Lord that it wouldn't, and he took care of it.
This is probably the worst fire I've had in town.
Sturgis Fire Department's Assistant Chief Mike Russellberg says it took 8 different departments close to 5 hours to get the fire under control.
The smoke was just unbearable coming into town, and the hot embers flying at the truck was just, I mean, it just looked like eternal fire. I mean, it looked bad.
Officials say it started behind these houses here. The flames shot across the street and hit that house, and they all say it's thanks to Mother Nature.
I think it was either between 20 and 25 mile-an-hour winds. I mean, we just had a tough battle on our hands.
He adds if they weren't so strong, the fire would have been contained to one side of the street. But he's just happy they got to the scene when they did and took control before the situation became worse.
And we just started saving these houses, saving that house, and that White House there in the corner, and this brick house. That was our main priority.
In Sturgis, Kentucky, Lauren Motter, Fox 7 News. Bob Howe has been Davis County coroner for 25 years. The May 19th primary will be his 7th time running for office.
I think we've done a good job. I have a record to support that.
Just down the hall is fellow candidate Chief Deputy Jeff Jones. Jones has been with the Sheriff's Office for 25 years. He says it's time for a new direction.
I can take my years of the investigation work that I've done and I can expand that into the office of coroner.
But tension on the 2nd floor of the courthouse is a little higher these days. Howe says Jones is in violation of the Hatch Act.
The Hatch Act is a law that prohibits people that are employed by the federal government or work for organizations funded by the federal government from holding local elected office.
When people run for elective office, they should check the law. It's not a technicality, it is a law.
Howe says he emailed the Office of Special Counsel in D.C. asking for an opinion if Jones would be included because of the federal grants the Sheriff's Office has received. After that inquiry, a case file was opened. The Hatch Act has made headlines in other elections, including the 2008 Vanderbilt County Commissioner's race and the 2007 mayoral race in Terre Haute. But in those cases, the challenge came after the elections. Jones says he found out about the filing last week and says it's not going to discourage him.
I don't make any apologies for that. I'm rather proud of what the accomplishments have been over the years. And again, I'm very committed in continuing my process.
If it comes to it, Jones says he will resign from the Sheriff's Office to pursue the coroner's job. And Howe says if it comes to it, that will make this race a fair playing field for the candidates. Lauren Motter, Fox 7 News. Mark Schmidt has never golfed a day in his life. But he grew up on the course, watching golfers attempt to get a hole-in-one, but secretly hoping they would hit the ball in the drink.
And those lakes were very attractive to me for some reason. I'd wait around the edges and sell the golf balls to the players.
It didn't take him long to discover diving gear, a golf cart, and a scuba certification would give him access to finding a lot more golf balls deep down in the lakes.
That's all I did was dive and sell the golf balls back to the golf shop.
But just like any golfer, days out on the course was only a favorite pastime for Mark.
I got into a variety of careers, but I kept falling back to diving for golf balls because it was a good source of income.
That is, until he decided to take the big swing and make something out of it.
I talked to my wife back in '93 and I said, well, how about if I do this full time? And she's going, you want to do what? You know, golf balls used, diving? Okay.
Now on a farm out in Fort Branch, Indiana, his favorite pastime has become Rawhide Golf Ball Company, the only golf ball recycling center in the state. 2 million golf balls go through this recycle process every year, turning golf balls like this into this.
The players do the planting and we do the harvesting.
To begin the harvest, crews use a tractor-like rolling disc system. The device moves back and forth along the bottom of the pond, grabbing as many golf balls as possible. Hundreds are then reeled out of the murky water and taken out of the device. Then the dirty pond balls are bagged and brought back to the farm for a good wash. 3 different chemical washes to be exact.
With the hydrogen peroxide, it gives it about an extra 5% boost in cosmetics.
Next comes deciding where the golf balls will go.
We'll look at each and every one and say, okay, how new is it? Is it a number 1, A grade, B grade, or C grade?
If the golf balls are destined for the driving range, they're individually striped, packaged, and off to the range they go. If the golf balls are destined for another future, they're organized by performance and sold back to the courses and to the players. Mark says for the first 7 years of business, they broke even.
So there's 2 steps forwards, 1 step backwards, sometimes the other way around.
But now, through good old-fashioned word of mouth, he's shipping golf balls all over the country and overseas. And even though he can't produce as many golf balls by diving for them individually, he says his true passion will always stay with him, no matter if his company gets a mulligan or a hole-in-one. In Fort Branch, Lauren Motter, Fox 7 News. New pictures and troubling new details coming out concerning the weekend murder of 2 Vanderburgh County children. Durham Township fire personnel were able to take pictures of the house when they arrived on Fisher Road early Saturday morning. The pictures showed the house fully engulfed in flames by the time crews arrived. According to a probable cause affidavit, investigators found duct tape in the rooms where the children's bodies were found. The affidavit suggests the duct tape was used to tape the children to the bed before the house was set on fire. The 2 victims of the house fire have been identified as 8-year-old Alyssa Lynch and 5-year-old Caleb Lynch. An autopsy shows the 2 died of smoke inhalation. Funeral arrangements have not yet been released. Hundreds gathered outside the fire scene Sunday for a candlelit vigil to remember the children. Members of the Durham Township Fire Department were in attendance to show their support and remember the short lives of Alyssa and Caleb. The children's mother, Lisa Lynch, spoke at the vigil, but she refused any on-camera interviews. One of Jeffrey Weisheit's friends was at the event. He says he's still in shock.
Good friends with Jeff.
A Sunday evening break-in in Owensboro leaves 1 person dead. Police say around 6:20 last night, they received a call in the 3000 block of Wandering Lane of a possible break-in. They say when they got there, they found out that Jesse Williams was trying to get into his ex-girlfriend's house by punching his fist through the window. When he punched his fist through the window, he cut his arm and ran from the scene. Williams was found about 45 minutes later. He was taken to OMHS where he was pronounced dead. We'll have more on this story tonight on Fox 7 News at 6. Presidents, prime ministers, and other top officials from 47 countries are gathering in the nation's capital for a 2-day nuclear summit. This is the largest gathering of world leaders hosted by an American president since 1945, when the United Nations was founded at a conference in San Francisco. But what's expected to come out of it? Fox's Jennifer Davis reports.